gentlemen, I got my main man, Brady Krysiewicz here, 14-year-old goalkeeper with Sporting Academy. Man, thank you for being on the show. I truly appreciate it. Now, Brady has been training with me on his off seasons for the last couple of years, and I've had the pleasure. He's not only a phenomenal athlete, but a great person. So again, man, thank you for being on the show, bro. How's it going today?
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to bring you on the show, man, because again, you inspire me. When you come in and train, like you give it your all. I've been watching you, been trying to watch your games and follow you. You're off to an amazing start this season already, and got some big things coming in the future. So I wanted to kind of, pick your brain and have you hopefully inspire some of the younger kids coming up behind you, even some of the adults watching on, how they can follow and pursue their goals and dreams, man. So if you would, take me back. You're originally from Virginia, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So when did you fall in love with the sport of soccer? When did you know this is my jam?
So, I think I was about 3 years old, and I fell in love with the sport ever since. I was just rec soccer, YMCA stuff. Simple as that, Once I started there, I just fell in love with the sport, and it took me a few years until I found out about goalkeeping.
Yeah.
But once I found out about goalkeeping, I for sure knew that's what I wanted to do from there.
Gotcha. Now, did you play any other sports? Did you drop everything else, or what was that like?
Yeah, so I was actually used to snowboard a lot, and I tried some flag football, some t-ball, stuff like that. But one season of t-ball, one season of flag football, a couple years of snowboarding, and then soccer came into my life, and then that's when I knew that's what I wanted to do.
So it's been a wrap. You've been focused on that ever since, nothing else?
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, you are signed with Sporting KC Academy, correct?
Yeah.
What was that journey like? When did you get that opportunity? How did that all come about?
Yeah, so back in Amherst, Virginia, my parents tell me to come into the kitchen. We need to have a little talk. So Sporting Kansas City reached out to my parents, and so we were like, this is a big opportunity. My parents weren't sure if I was if this was big deal or anything, because a lot of these pay-to-play stuff in America is it's a lot of scams and stuff.
Yeah.
But after us taking a trial out there and me doing really well with the goalkeeper coaches and the coaches there, it went great from there. I trained really good my first trial, and then we went back and forth from Amherst to Kansas City every few months, and yeah. Gotcha.
Were you looking at any other MLS academies or?
We had gotten a few offers from others, but after trialing Sporting Kansas City, we didn't really want to take any other risks, so because of the offer went off the table or anything like that. So, yeah. Well, after our first trial, we were my parents were talking to me if this is really what you want, we're here for you, we're here to support you. So after we trialed with Sporting Kansas City, we found out that that's where we wanted to be. We stuck our decision there. We were coming out every few months, and that's just where we wanted to be.
Yeah. Now, how stoked are you for this opportunity? I can't imagine, and you don't have to go into details, but you got a contract to play soccer at what age? 12? Was it 12?
I think I was about 11.
11?
I was in 5th grade, I believe, when I first started trialing.
Yeah, I got a 12 and a 13-year-old kid who asked me for money every day. So I can't imagine how excited they would be if they got an opportunity to play for cash. What were you over the moon? What did it feel for you?
Yeah, so first I thought they were asked me to be with the pro team, because I didn't know what to think of it at first, but I was definitely excited to see what the future came. But after coming out here and seeing what it was, I understood it a little bit more after having meetings and talking with coaches. But when they first told me, I thought I was going to be playing on the big stadium, on the big field, as big stuff like that. But I understood it after being here. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I was definitely excited.
Yeah. So you might have to school me up a little bit, but I want to help school the viewers up on because a lot of folks, especially in America, are just kind of coming around to soccer, right? It's not as big as it is in European countries or the rest of the world for that matter. MLS Sporting Academy, a youth academy, is kind of just like this academy where they bring in a bunch of young kids up to try to see if they're about putting them on the big screen, right? The big league.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a big deal. And from what I also understand is most of the colleges draw kids from these academies nowadays too. If you don't play for academy, you pretty much don't have a shot at being a starter on a D1 division school. Is that right?
Yeah, so basically it's called Pathway to the Pros is what Sporting Kansas City Academy goes by.
Okay.
And so usually you work your way up through the academy, And then once you're there, you go to the next league up, which is MLS Next Pro, and you work your way with Sporting Kansas City second team, which is the division and league below the first team.
Okay.
So once you prove yourself there, it's kind of the decision maker if you go to a college or if you skip college completely and you sign a D1 offer before you're even old enough to go into college.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
What are your, I mean, I'm sure most of the guys want to skip college and go up, but what about you? Where's your head at? What's your goals?
Yeah, so it's a decision maker for sure because those are 4 years of my life that could be prime time, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good times. It's going to be a learning experience, but that's also 4 more years of my life I'm taking up not becoming a professional.
Right.
So if I'm offered a contract before I head into college, I'm definitely going to take it, but it's going to be a hard choice.
Gotcha. Nah, that's cool, man. Now, again, I'm right there with you. We're going to work to make sure that happens for you, but do you have a college in mind? If you don't, you got a couple colleges in mind?
Yeah, so my main one I've had since I was a kid, I went to a camp there 2018, UNC.
Okay.
North Carolina is just closer to home,
Yep.
It's still pretty close to Kansas City as well to see family and stuff. But I had a goalkeeper camp there. Well, not goalkeeper camp, but a training camp there in 2018, and it's a beautiful campus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope. Any other ones, or is that?
I think if there was a major D1 offer from any school, I would definitely take it. But if UNC were up on the table, that'd be a really cool one.
I got you. And then with the whole college scene and stuff, now it's crazy again because I keep reading. You already have a contract to play a sport, but the NIL whole deal that just rolled out a few years ago, right? Name, image, likeness. That has to be very enticing too. You can go to college and still make some really good money by being a college athlete. How do you feel about that?
That'd be really cool because I know even if I end up going to college, that's totally fine because there's still a very good chance that I can make it out once I could prove myself in college.
Right.
So,
yeah. And with the deals, like again, I train a couple athletes that have some amazing deals, like with Spalding and Gymshark and some other ones out there. From what I understand, you just got you a glove deal. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that, man.
Yeah. So HO Soccer is my glove deal I have right now.
Yeah.
And I used them before I moved out here full time, but they're a great glove brand. I actually got connected through a goalkeeper named Brad Stuver, who I interviewed on my podcast, 10 Questions with a Pro.
Oh, dope.
And so he got me connected with HO, and I was an HO user for 2 years before I moved out here, and I loved their gloves. So I had to wait till I was old enough to get a professional contract where I was allowed to wear them in MLS Next, the league I play in.
Yeah.
But now that I'm allowed to wear gloves with a sponsorship and like an Adidas only academy is very, very cool.
That's
and
dope.
It's awesome because like a bunch of the second team goalkeepers or the goalkeepers that are playing up a little bit in the older age groups of our academy, they're also starting to get recognized. So around the time I was getting my sponsorship, a lot of the goalkeepers in the academy were also getting recognized by other glove brands.
That's what's up, man. That's dope. I'm very proud of you, man. Excited. That's cool. So now let's get into some nitty gritty, right? Like, what's the day in the life? You are professional athlete. You go to school, right? You got family times, and you're also a kid. So what's the typical week like for you, man? What's the day like?
Yeah, usually if it's just a normal Monday, I'm waking up for school training. It's about 6 a.m. I get up, I get changed to get ready for school. And then around 2 o'clock, I come home, get some homework done, get some food in my stomach, get ready for training. And then I'm at training until 9 o'clock at night. And sometimes even later because, we have duties at Sporting Kansas City Academy. So you're either cleaning locker room, cleaning kitchen, restocking water bottles. So sometimes you're there a little bit later, depending on what jobs you have. But, it's usually later nights. I'm pretty tired in the mornings from training and school. And then it sucks the next day when you have a test and you got to study at night once you get back home from training. But, usually day in the life is especially if we have a very strict schedule, maybe gym before school in the mornings, that's rare occasions. But if I'm really wanting to get better and doing some extra work, I'll head here in the mornings, some mornings, and I'll get some extra work in before school because especially with me going full, because I know some keepers in the academy, they once we're older, school training starts earlier.
Yeah.
So they have to leave school earlier. So That's probably going to be the plan for next year.
Gotcha.
But if school starts later and I leave later, I'll probably be doing 2 sessions a day. But right now, the schedule's just looking like school, rest, practice, and then I come home.
Yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like, you hear my man, he is training until 9 o'clock at night and then going to do his work, maybe even later, getting up early in the morning. And I can contest he has been in at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning to work out before school starts. And that's what it takes to play at this level and to be, an amazing athlete like he is. It's not just being blessed with talent. It is putting in the hard work. So, kudos to you for that, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
No, that's awesome. It's all you, bro. So what's the inspiration? Like, what makes you get up out of bed every day? Like, who or what is that inspiration that keeps you going?
Yeah, so it's my Uncle Stan. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and he was originally the first person that gave me money to buy my first pair of goalkeeper gloves.
Oh, dope.
So usually I pray for him before every game, and he's my motivation to keep going. And, if I have a bad game, usually I just pray, and he lets me know that it's all right. And, yeah, my uncle, yeah.
Wow, man. That's nice. What kind of the lines of that made me think about some other really nice things that you do for the community. You started a foundation, right?
Yeah.
Keeper for a Cure, is that
Yeah.
correct? Can you tell us more about that, man?
Yeah, so Keeper for a Cure is my nonprofit I started in 2019, and it's really simple. This backstory is me going to a goalkeeper camp in Richmond, Virginia, and the goalkeeper coach there, John Bush, was telling us about our leadership skills, how to be a leader on and off the field, and telling us how it's important to help and give back to your community. Now, me only being 8-9 years old, I was still young and I didn't know much about that. So me and my dad were in the hotel pool talking more about giving back to the community and how I could help others. And so we started looking to maybe starting our own nonprofit. It was a long shot, but it's been working out really well. And it's, my Keeper for a Cure started there.
That's awesome, man. How much money have you raised with that?
Over $15,000.
That's awesome. Oh, man, that's cool. Do you got any what's anything coming up with that next? Any big announcements or any big events you got going on? I know you always are doing stuff.
Yeah, so the month of October is going to be busy. We'll have some events going on, especially working with Gilda's Club this year again. It should be exciting. We'll have some announcement videos coming out, and we'll be doing some events at some breweries, having some nights where beers are named after me. Every few dollars goes from the beer go to help Keeper for a Cure.
All right, I got a good reason to go drink now.
That's great. And then another event we do is we go to the Sporting Kansas City first team games, and we put our stuff out at the tailgates. And usually people come in, they ask about my story. I usually inform them, give out some free stuff, and then you don't have to donate or not. Usually stuff's free, but it's nice to help people and let them know and inform them about breast cancer and all sorts of cancer now. Especially there's one member at the tailgates for the Cauldron that was diagnosed with breast cancer, and so it's always nice to see her again because it reminds me the type of people I'm helping. And it just makes me feel good because she's really struggling right now, and it's seeing people like that really struggle with that type of stuff. It reminds you why you do it and why you give back to the community.
Yeah. So I remember I met your dad at a Halloween trunk or treat, and he was telling me about you. I was telling him about the gym and kind of what we do here, and he invited me out to your event. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go check this out and see. My mother had breast cancer. She's a survivor, but back when I was a freshman in college, I believe she was diagnosed, and it was a big hit. Of course, I'm a mama's boy. I had no idea what I would do, if I lost her, and she's a very stubborn woman as well. So she was like, I'm not cutting off nothing. I'm not getting no chemo. I don't want nothing. So I honestly thought, I only had limited time left with my mom. So when your dad told me what you were doing, man, I was like, I got to go check it out and see what it's about. So that was, I think, the first time we actually met in person.
Yeah.
And that touched my heart, bro. That's a great thing you got going there. Right.
I remember being embarrassed meeting you, too, because I was dressed up as Ghostface in the trunk or treat, and I turn around and take my mask off, and my dad's introducing you, and I was feeling like such a weirdo, walking around scaring kids with my mask on, and then I turn around and meet this trainer is a little bit embarrassing, not going to lie.
Oh, no, man. We made it work, dog. But no, that's cool. So let me ask you, you got a lot of stuff going on. Great, social media presence. You're a phenomenal athlete. Seems like you're a really good big brother, right? You got a lot of stuff going on, man. Any regrets, like as far as moving out here, devoting yourself to soccer and this whole lifestyle? Do you like miss being a normal kid? Like, is this like, or are you just like, nah, this is me?
Yeah, so there's no regrets.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I wish I had free time. I wish I could go fishing with my friends, doing stuff like that, but there's no regrets at all. I've made it so far, and I'm super proud of myself, and I put in the hard work. I make sure I'm there every day, 1% better every day. There's no regrets. I really love where I am. I feel like I was gifted, and I really have this ability where I feel like once I'm locked in and I'm good to play, like I'm unstoppable.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. If you had, one tip to give to, anybody out there who is trying to chase the dream, the kids trying to, make it to the MLS or whatever sport, what would you tell them?
Yeah, so one tip I would say is if you make excuses, you're never going to get anywhere, If it all starts in like school, if you say I'm going to do my homework later, that's an excuse. I'm going to walk the dogs later, that's an excuse. If you do all these things that you make excuses, you're not going to make it far. So if this is what you want to do and this is where you want to be, you got to give 100% effort, and you got to make sure this is what you want to do.
That's what's up, dog. I got one more question for you before we get out of here, because it's still for me, very baffling or just kind of mind-blowing to think 11 years old, contract. I feel like that's got to be immense pressure for anyone, especially a young kid. How do you handle the pressure? How do you handle, having that pressure of being the goalie, right? The guy who's got to make the save, who's, there, and people, if you lose, they're going to look at you, right? How do you handle it every day?
I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I feel like I'm always nervous. Even like my first few months here, I was nervous for training.
Yeah.
Because, moving halfway across the country is the big deal,
Right.
You don't perform, what's the point?
Right.
Why'd you move out here?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really important that you just stay calm. And usually once I start my warm-ups and I'm getting into the groove of things, that's when I start to calm down. And usually some deep breaths also help me. But sometimes, you're just overstimulated and you don't know what to do. So I feel like maybe like watching something that'll help you calm down. Usually, this is a weird technique for me, but what helps me motivate and gets me ready for the game is watching old clips of me making big-time saves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember like this Virginia State Cup final a few years ago. Played like insane. I had so many saves. Unfortunately, we lost, but I was making save after save. I was making save after. It was a crazy game. I played amazing, and we were on the smaller field, so my punts were going into the other team's like 18-yard box. So it was such a fun game to play. But usually going back and watching old highlights of me usually gets me prepared and motivated for a game.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I know I said that was the last one, but you actually sparked another one for me. So, again, you moved all the way out here, and you say, again, you had to live up to that pressure and, live up to the expectations because your family picked up and moved clear across, the United States. What kind of sacrifice do you feel like your parents have made? Like, was that hard for them to make that move? Were they all for it? And, what's that relationship? Are you extremely grateful? How's that feeling?
Yeah, so I'm very grateful. I know many people's parents would not have done this, so I'm very happy and grateful that my parents were able to do this. And I also know that it was very tough for my mom, especially because she had to move away from all her family in Virginia, and it was really hard for her to say goodbye. And It was also hard for me and my sister as well. I know my dad's family. He doesn't really live in Virginia. So it was a little bit easier for him, but it was still kind of tough to say bye to family in Virginia. But I'm very grateful, and I know my sister hates me for it. But she loves it out here as well. She's doing good. She does drums, and she's a really cool kid. So
yeah,
I'm grateful for them, and I'm very happy because I know most people would not have been able to do that for their kids.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's a big sacrifice. And even if, a lot of parents wanted to, I think there's a lot of parents financially or, in a situation where they just couldn't pick up and move and make that happen. So it's a blessing that happened for you, man. But again, I want to thank you for being on the show. You've definitely been an inspiration to, I know the kids around here, the kids who train with you, my kids, and I just love seeing you do what you do, man. So keep at it, bro. I know you're going to go far. I'm excited to see just how far.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jesse.
You got it, bro. Thanks.